Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into the microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Return of the Obra Dinn. Blind. Now, I'm assuming this is going to be the last episode, but I have to warn you that I'm 100% going to cheese it. Like, I'm literally going to write down every possibility and then swap them around until I get it, because at this point, I have no idea how to legitimately solve this. So, because I have four fates left to decipher. This guy is off limits because he doesn't die in any of the memories. This guy definitely died and definitely was shot, but I'm not sure by whom. So I should probably try to make that concrete, because swapping, because there is theoretically like 60 people that could have done that, so I should try to make that more narrow and, if possible, be certain of at least one of the three that I need to figure out. This one is off limits as well because he also doesn't die in any of the memories. This one, I'm sure that he died, but I'm not sure that's him. That could very well be this guy, because I have no idea which one is which, so I'll just, as I said, swap them around. This guy, I'm not sure either if it's him or even if what happened to him, because I couldn't find his body. Like, I'm assuming he was blasted by the cannon because the cannon destroyed a wall, so I'm assuming he was behind the wall, but there, to my knowledge, there is no body of this guy. So that's a little bit problematic. Let's go back here. Not here actually, but rather over here, and try to figure out the steward's death. Now, he was obviously shot by one of the Europeans, just judging from the look of them. This guy over there. But I can't see, because of the color scheme and all that, if he's naked from the waist up or if he has like a striped shirt. Now, he seems to be bald, and he has a gun. So let's go one memory prior to this, which would be, I think, this part. Yeah, so it's either this guy. Who else has a gun here? Do I need to go even earlier? Because it was during the fight that he got shot. So it was either this guy or the other guy in a difficult to notice shirt. That's not the right chapter though. Where would I find the previous chapter? This one. In the middle here. So this guy has a gun here, and it could be him because he's bald. The other guy, I think, is just coming down from here, but he doesn't have a gun at this point. So it seems more logical to assume it was this guy who did it, and that's Charles Minor, that is confirmed. So was shot by Charles Minor, the bosun's mate. Oh. Two more fates. That's interesting. So, are the remaining three the end game, as it were? Okay, but I am a little bit confused now because I don't have enough... Oh, it has started raining. I don't have enough information to make the next three because this one is unavailable. He doesn't die in any of the memories and he's not listed as missing. This guy is unaccounted for as well. That leaves only this guy, this guy. Wait, am I missing something here? Maybe they are. Maybe there are three that I could match. Solved, 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 solved. So that leaves one here. One here, so that's two. This guy I can't find. And this guy I can't find either. So would the last two be accounted for in the set of two, as did the previous ones? Maybe I'll just swap them around and see what happens. Because to be honest, I have no idea which one is which, so I'm just doing it. Okay, so let's assume this one is this one, and then the other one would be the Chinese. Okay. There is nothing left to do on the Obra Dinn, so I guess now I'm going to leave and return the book, and this will fill in this chapter, which I guess will answer the question of what happened to the last two guys. Now I could try to piece the story together chronologically, but it seems to me that it's best to wait for this chapter to be finished as well, so that I have all of the pieces before I try to understand what has happened here.
We should go. Storm's nearly about, so we won't be coming back.
So, are we going or what? I'm not sure what's happening. I don't want to go back on board because the game literally directly told me that there's nothing to do there. Oh, the screen is disappearing.
Finally. Sit down so you don't fall out.
Insurance assessment for the good ship Obra Dinn. Victims of calamitous events at sea, prepared by the Company Office of Investigation. Ship sank in a storm. Wait, it didn't, but it didn't. Like, it was literally there, so what gives? Like, am I to assume that it sank in the epilogue after I left it? And I wonder who would be compensated for that. That would be the East India Company itself, I guess. Also for the cargo, but the Crown of England has also been compensated for that. Murder of crewmate 4. Now, I don't remember, did he really... I think he only killed 3 people, although I guess in this day and age they might be counting him committing suicide as murder, because at the time it was actually illegal to kill yourself, and because if you killed yourself you deprived the crown of a subject and basically all the taxes and whatever. So it was actually customary at the time for all of the estate of the suicide victim to be forfeited to the crown anyway. So I guess in a way it doesn't matter if he killed all those people. What matters is that he killed himself, and that would probably be enough to confiscate all of his money from his family. That's why, like, it was very like, obviously it's always horrible when a loved one kills themselves, but in the past, historically speaking, it was doubly horrible because 1, you lost a loved one, but 2, you lost all of your livelihood because it was confiscated by the king or the Kaiser or whatever, because your loved one has offended them by taking their own lives without permission from the crown. What? Apparently, a fine for attempted mutiny is only £25. That doesn't seem exactly right. Like, mutiny was punishable by death. Obviously, the guy himself is dead at the point, so there's no point in doing that. But £25 seems awfully lax. Murder of a crewmate, theft of cargo, estate fine 100. Okay. Yeah, fate unknown from the third mate. That's right. I wonder if I'll find that out in the epilogue here. Exceptional performance of duties, estate awarded, wages and a reward of £90. So apparently, the fine for murdering someone is only £15, and the fine for mutiny is 25, which doesn't surprise me because, as I said, mutinying a ship, especially a military ship, would be a capital offense at the time. The bosun's family got a bonus from him dying valorously in the fight against the Kraken, I guess. Charles Minor. Yeah, murder £15, okay. That's interesting. The surgeon is listed as having abandoned the crew and vessel, and despite that, he was awarded £50 of an award. That seems weird to me because, if anything, you could construe that as an act of mutiny in itself to leave your crewmates under attack. Surgeon's mate also got a bonus of 50. Fighting the beast. Carpenter's family got a bonus. Carpenter's mate donated to pension. Cook's family got a bonus as well. Exempt performance of duties. Butcher got a bonus. Gunner got a bonus as well. Olus Viater's estate was fined for an attempt in mutinying and also a murder. Guy got a bonus. Again, this guy got a bonus for basically fleeing. I don't exactly understand that. And it's also weird how, for example, the artist got a larger bonus than, I don't know, the helmsman, who was directly on board and was fighting the creature, and the artist was just shitting in the back and got crushed. Now, it's a little bit silly to me, although maybe not at the standard of the time, because obviously criminal law was different and lacked most of the sophistication of today, but it's pretty silly for example, the woman here, Emily Jackson, being accused of murder when she was directly defending herself from being attacked by the guy, and from what I remember, they attacked her first, so there's that. And for example, this woman has also abandoned the crew along with the surgeon and the other woman, but they got a reward and she got a fine, so I don't quite understand that. Okay, I'll just skim through that. Failure to perform duties. Captain Steward. Yeah, but fate is also unknown. Bunch of people got rewards for fighting the Kraken. A preliminary draft of this assessment has been approved by the Rail Trade Guarantor. Total claimed £29,285. In 1807 pounds, that's probably a horrendously large amount of money by today's standard. I certify all statements as accurate and declare this matter closed. I don't exactly, because there are still two people that I don't know what happened to. But I don't think I have a choice, so let's click it. Of course, I'm drinking tea, as any proper Englishman would. Somebody's coming, but can't really move.
Can you believe it? A package at this hour? Oh, the thing smells just dreadful. Better you don't open it inside. I'll be turning in now. Tea's in the kitchen if you need more.
Okay, I don't have much of a choice except to open it. Chief Inspector, I write to you that unfortunate news that Dr. Evans has passed away. Shortly after receiving your package, pleased with your correspondence and ask his gratitude be expressed by returning the book to you, along with the means to complete it. As for the three of us that remain, the Obra Dinn is a distant memory and a dreadful chapter in our lives that we wish to forget and do not write back. That's Jane Bird, one of the women that were with the doctor when he fled. Well, so let's take the book back then. The tale belongs to you now, please finish it. So there is only this to be finished. But how will I get back on the ship if apparently it was destroyed in a storm? What? That's a human hand, right? It's awfully creepy. Ah, so I can use the pocket watch to transport me back in time so that I can see the origins of how the hand was chopped off and how the owner of the hand died in the first place, I guess. And I'm assuming it belongs to one of the two officers that were left unaccounted for on the ship. So let's go.
There you are. Collect your things. Where's the key? To that door. Gone. Damn. There's no time. We need to go. Right. Here you go. What are you up to? Nothing, Bruce.
So that's the surgeon. That's one of the freaking strange fish or something, or it doesn't look like a mermaid, but it's one of the creatures from the sea. This is the third mate, right? So I would say he was... Ah, okay, I probably need to finish the memory. So it doesn't want me to. A friendly but not entirely pleasant monkey companion was sacrificed in the pursuit of knowledge. Doesn't want me to fill in the details yet. But this guy was pretty clearly spiked by the sea creatures. This guy... Ah, and this guy is the captain's steward. Now, am I supposed to take it that they sacrificed the monkey in like a black magic ritual or something? It definitely sounds weird. But this whole game has been pretty weird, to be honest.
A third shell. The captain didn't toss them all. Leave it. Help me lift this. Stop! Why? Well, set you free. Give it the shell. Here. Do it. Hoist it out. To the main deck. Throw it over. Lock the door when you leave. Get the tail, boy. You return. The ship. The Obra Dinn. See it home. Oh. 'Cause 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 'cause
So here's the mermaid with one of the magic shells. Now, how do I leave this memory? I guess it'll close itself at some point, as it often does. Okay, so this guy was spiked by a beast. And now I only have one memory left. And that would be this guy's death. Oh, although I guess maybe I'll... Oh, what even is that? I don't think it's the monkey. It doesn't look like a monkey to me.
I'll kill every last one of you monsters. Withdraw the Kraken, or I will kill you all!
That's the captain fighting the sirens. This guy has the magic shell, but he's already dead. And I'm not entirely sure what killed him. Yeah, so that's just the captain fighting the mermaids. But I still need to learn how did this guy die. I guess I'm going even more back.
Call it off, damn you! This is your Kraken! You brought it here! Send it back!
Okay, it really doesn't want to show me how did this guy die. It only shows me the captain fighting the mermaids. Although I guess it gives me also the pretty important piece of information that apparently it was the mermaids themselves that have summoned the Kraken in the first place. So there is that. They presumably did it to retrieve the magic shells. I'm going to review the chapters in order and try to understand the story a little more in a moment. I just want to mark the last death. And that would be him, indeed.
What's this? Quicksilver. Herre min Gud!
So I guess he was burned by the artifact. There's flames rising from it, and in one of the previous memories out at sea, I've seen the Formosan guy also get burned while opening it, and it looked pretty similar with like a chunk of flesh being burned out. So that's what I'm going to put in and hope it's going to be correct. He was burned to death. Okay, so I wonder if I'll have a chance to inspect the book before I leave. On one hand, I kind of want to leave because maybe I'll get another piece of information that will make relating the story in a chronological order easier, but on the other, I'm a little bit worried that the game is just going to end. I guess I'll go ahead and see. Yeah, it did just end. I think I'm going to rewind and try to piece the story back together on my own. Okay, so I'm back and I wanted to try to piece the story together chronologically, just for a final sort of farewell before I end the game. So, shortly after leaving England, there was an accident on board and one of the crewmen got killed. But there was also this unidentified stowaway, and I'm not quite sure what's the deal with him, because I'm not sure who he was or how he plays into the greater story, but it seems he died at this point anyway, pretty early into the story. Then there is this chapter where some of the crewmen started getting sick, and a couple of them died. This guy. That they killed a cow. I'm again not sure how the cow killing itself is relevant. If the meat was diseased as well, or something. But then there is this. Now, from what I understand, Edward Nichols, the second mate, wanted to steal the chest that the Formosans were carrying, because I assume he thought it had some valuables inside, and he just wanted to steal it. So he killed Nuncio Pasqua. Now, I'm not quite sure why he did that. It's either because he was sneaking around the Formosan quarters and Pasqua saw him, as you can see here, or he just did that to frame one of the Formosans for doing that, so that the rest of the crew would be negatively predisposed towards the Formosans. So this guy got framed for killing Pasqua, and was executed for it by the command of the captain. And then I guess Nichols and some other guys who were in his coven, in his mutinous group, they kidnapped the Formosan guys, the Formosan royalty, the woman and the man, and also they took the chest, and the chest had those magical artifacts in them those magical shells. So when they took it, they were attacked by. So they wanted to go onto the Canaries, and they were afraid of being pursued by the Obra Dinn, but they were attacked by the. They were attacked by the mermaids who wanted to retrieve the shells that were inside the chest. Now, I'm not sure if that's because the shells are like I don't know, sacred to them, or if the shells themselves are like fins or part of their very bodies or something. But anyway, they were attacked by the mermaids. So then they decided to go back to the ship to, I guess, to better defend themselves against, because they knew they couldn't kill all the mermaids or something. And in the meantime, one of the Formosan guys used the artifact in the chest to kill some of the mermaids with like magic or something, but nonetheless they seem to have turned back. As you can see, they're back. Get the captain, recover the boats. Don't shoot, I have treasure, I yield. So he sort of reneged on his mutiny, because I guess he was scared that the mermaids and the other monsters are going to kill them. But he was killed by one of the Formosan guys because he earlier kidnapped the other Formosan people, so I guess it was vengeance on part of that guy. Now, then they had the chest again, but I'm not sure what changed, because if the mermaids wanted the chest, or rather the shells that were inside the chest, why didn't they attack the ship in the first place? After all, the Formosans did have the chest on board, and Nichols, the second mate, wanted to steal it. So I'm not quite sure what changed, but nonetheless, they were attacked by various like sea creatures, those giant crabs, and then the kraken also as well. And they didn't know what was happening exactly. At least most of them didn't. I guess Nichols probably figured that out because he saw the mermaids attacking the boats. But they were attacked by all those creatures, and they were fighting them and dying and whatever. And then what? And this guy was killed by an accident. But anyway, they were fighting all of those creatures. There was the kraken, and it was later found out by the captain that it was the sirens that were controlling the kraken in the first place. Oh, and I guess this is not a human hand after all. It's a monkey's hand. And I guess this solves the question of the fact that a friendly but not entirely pleasant monkey companion was sacrificed in the pursuit of knowledge. So I guess after the captain figured out that the sirens want to get back the shells from the chest, he ordered this guy to give it back to the siren and then throw the siren overboard so that it can return to the sea with its shells and leave the ship in peace. But when the surgeon was fleeing the ship, in the aftermath of all that carnage, he killed the monkey and then cut off its paw so that he can later use the pocket watch to return to that scene and to return to the ship that was even if it was non-existent at the time, like to literally return to the past and then piece together what happened, I assume. But anyway, yeah, and that's the escape. So some of them, the surgeon, the two women and one other guy, this guy, they escaped to Africa, and the surgeon brought with him the monkey's paw, which he later sent me so that I can now use it. But I guess in the end, there was only a couple of people left on the ship, because most of them were dead because of the monster attacks. And I guess some of the people wanted to retaliate. Retaliate against the mermaids and the sea creatures, and they still wanted the treasure. They wanted the shells and whatever to get rid of. So they attacked the surgeon. I mean, not the surgeon, but the captain, because they wanted to force him to let them attack the mermaids and whatever and retrieve the treasure. But he knew that they stood no chance, so then he killed them in self-defense. Yeah, because they are asking, where are they? It must be someplace in here, and he's telling them they're at the bottom of the sea. So he's telling them that he returned the treasure to the sea monsters so that they leave the ship alone, but they didn't believe him. So the fight broke out and he killed them in self-defense. But then, when pretty much everyone else on board was already dead, either from a monster attack, from infighting, or from a mutiny, or from being killed by the captain himself, then he killed himself out of grief, I guess, and that's the end. So that isn't exactly as spectacular or interesting as I would have liked or hoped, but it's still, kind of interesting. Although I guess the greatest pleasure of this game was the journey and not exactly the destination. And I also suppose that there must be a lot of things that I have missed or misinterpreted. I would like the credits to play again, so I'll toy around with the game and let the credits play, and then make my summary known while I'll let you see the credits. Although, judging from the last game, it's probably just Lucas Pope doing everything under every job position, but we'll see. Okay, so that was Return of the Obra Dinn. Now, I definitely liked it. I liked it a lot. I think it was very unique and very ambitious. Definitely, it was a much greater scope of a project than Papers, Please was, and it was definitely a lot more unique in its approach. I have never seen a game like this, and I definitely liked it. I think it was very well worth my time. However, I feel, although I am very much embarrassed to admit that, I feel that I am a little bit too stupid to fully to be fully proficient at this game, because I fully admit that the last 8 names or something, at the very end, I was sort of doing it by a process of trial and error very much. I was just sticking everything together and juggling it around until it stick. I have literally no idea how was I supposed to distinguish between, for example, those 4 Chinese topmen of different names. So there is that, but my stupidity shouldn't count against the game. It very much shouldn't, and the game is pretty good. However, I enjoyed it. I think it was very good. I'm glad that I played it, but I think, in a way, Papers, Please actually sort of asked more poignant questions about life in general, because this story, I didn't expect the supernatural to play such a great role in it, and I feel that somehow it cheapens the experience, for me at least. I would have liked it to be more of a like a historical drama of sorts or something, and not a story about magic and mermaids and krakens. But it was definitely cool. It was definitely very different than Papers, Please. I can't in good conscience say that it's better than Papers, Please, because it's very much a different game. It has a different feel, it has a different gameplay. It's definitely a lot more demanding, because everyone could have played and finished Papers, Please, but this one, I myself feel I'm probably too stupid to play this game to the end the proper way. I was sort of cheesing it by the end, as I said, by the process of trial and error. I did love the graphical style, though. It's pretty unique and pretty well fitting towards this kind of story, a historical story in particular. So I wonder if we'll ever see anything like that in the future. But yeah, that was Obra Dinn. It was definitely interesting, almost kind of fascinating at some point, but I am left a little bit disappointed by the conclusion, even though perhaps I am wrong in my deduction about how the events played out, and maybe there's some secrets that I haven't thought of. So if there's anything else to this game that I haven't figured out, please let me know in the description and let me know what you think. I definitely liked it. I had fun playing it, and it was definitely demanding. So yeah, Lucas Pope is great, and to be honest, if he ever releases any other game, I'll probably just buy it blindly and then play it, because obviously that's a man who has tons of creativity, and I'm very much eager to see what else he has to offer in the future. But for now, that's all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!